I feel a little guilty today.
Why is that?
Well,
We are alive though.
Oh, it's fine. I had to get so with school being off today for O'Gorman, I had the boys,
Sure.
and one of the things they do at O'Gorman is the first break you can take your kids and get a free shot or a flu shot.
Sure.
So I was trying to get them rounded up to time before it was time to go.
Mhm.
And this one, I was trying to grab one, the other would wander off, as your teens and tweens will do.
Right.
So finally, went to YouTube, got Little John shots on there,
Okay.
cranked it as loud as I could, and played it. My oldest comes out, Dad, I hate you, but it got your attention. You know where we're going. Still hate you.
Nice. We have more stuff.
Sweet.
Hey.
Oh, nice. Ooh, I gotta check that one out. There you go.
Was that what you were talking about, or was it one of these things that you were talking about?
No, that specifically where I am geek here.
So apparently you get to talk about all the Yahtzee and that stuff, and I'll just talk about everything over here.
All right.
Sounds like a plan?
Sounds like a plan.
All right. Well, welcome everybody to Rainbow Presents Wednesday Night Lights with your hosts, Patrick and Casey. Woohoo! Tonight, we're going to do just like how we did last week. We're going to have a question of the day, which this one's going to be a thinker. I actually came across this on TikTok, and it might seem a little weird maybe or dreary, but the city burns and it's about to be run over. You and your best friend stay behind to give everybody time to escape. What are your final words to your friend as you draw your swords for the last time?
I'm going full Murtaugh.
Full Murtaugh, okay.
I'm getting too old for this.
That's not bad. Any other ideas other than that, or?
No, it's like more. It'd be more along the lines of, what song are we playing to freak out the enemy?
There you go. Ooh, another one. God, Patrick's got a ton to talk about. Well, I guess the last line you would say to your friend, what would I don't know. The first thing that came to mind right when I said that was, well, my friend, are we ready for one last time? So
Maybe. So, what do you want? Your tombstone.
there you go. And if anybody in the audience wants to voice their, so I just write in the comments what you guys would do in that situation. I thought it was a pretty good idea for having a question of the day. So
that's fair.
Yeah. So from there on, now we are to our normal stuff. We're going to start off with sports ball, which is going to have very minimal, just one thing, and it's brand new 2024 Prestige, and this is the H2 box, so hybrid. So it's going to have a hybrid mixture of both hobby and retail. So possibility for autographs, but no guarantees. There is an H2 exclusive of draft day signatures and galaxy parallels that you'll have to look for, but not guaranteed.
Well, it says find 10 parallels.
Yep, those are the ones. Yep, those are the ones you're probably going to find in there, is to find 10 numbered parallels per box. So
on average.
Yeah.
So chances you get nothing, or if you get a box, are pretty pretty slim, I would say. But it can happen. It would be a very freaky box if that happened. But
it also says here on the side, look for ultra rare inserts, including worldwide celebrations and more.
Woot woot woot, double woot.
And that's it for sports ball.
Woo! Yay!
Next, we get into non-sports ball cards. We got a little bit of Flesh and Blood for those of you that are huge fans of that game.
Yay!
We got a Armory deck. It looks like Armory deck Dash. Is that what that character is? Or?
I would believe so. Maybe that is her name. And it's like, I think the Armory deck is their version of a commander deck.
Sure. Yeah.
But I'm not 100% on that, as I am not as familiar. And if we have any of our Flesh and Blood players, please go into the comments. I want to say Blood and Bone. Actually, that sounds like a card game I would get into. So maybe we create that one and do the Rainbow exclusive version.
There you go. Yeah, perfect. All right, so yeah, that's our new product for Flesh and Blood. Another thing that's coming out here soon, we have Yu-Gi-Oh! Rage of the Abyss. Ooh. One foil card for every pack, so that's kind of special for these ones. 24 packs per box, so 24 foil cards.
You know, they always talk about the Abyss's rage, never its empathy.
Right.
I think the Abyss gets a bad rap.
True. Yeah, you know, what comes from the Abyss just depending, right?
You get out of the world what you put into it. It's probably the same thing with the Abyss. You get out of the Abyss what you put into it. Don't use it as your garbage disposal.
Right. Yeah. And then for Pokemon, we have, what is this? It looks like a puzzle.
Yeah,
3D jigsaw puzzle.
Yep.
Pikachu. So that's actually kind of cool. Oh, here's a picture of what the pieces would look like. Ooh.
So they dissected Pikachu, and you get to put him back together. Mm-hmm. It's like biology, but worse.
Yeah, there you go. Well, that figures. That's my end. What do you have there, Patrick?
I have Yahtzee. But you know, Yahtzee's kind of been there, done that.
Right.
So now, as with everything else, we have themed Yahtzee. So I can get you Cup of Noodles Yahtzee. And if that's not spicy enough for you, we can toss in Sriracha Yahtzee and just add a little spice to that, mix them up, toss them. I mean, the little, you know, they've got specialty dice as well as a specialty shaker cup for each of those. So you're looking at some cool stuff there. But wait, there's more. Going to those Disney folks, we have Stitch Yahtzee. Lilo and Stitch Yahtzee. So if you got a tiki bar in the basement, you're looking to have a little fun to that, you can use this as your shake a day cup and call that good.
Makes you kind of wonder if they have one for is it Moana?
Not yet, but maybe if these start selling, we'll get those.
Right.
But we do have Nightmare Before Christmas Yahtzee. And I know there are a bunch of those people who are fans of that Nightmare Before Christmas. So if you want to get some more merch and something different you don't have, or if you have someone who loves it and buys all the merch before you can get into it, great Christmas present just waiting right there.
Yeah, perfect.
But we're still going.
Got tons
Get your hat ready because we got the one-piece Yahtzee with the Straw Hat Shaker Cup. And that's kind of cool in and of itself. But no, it gets better. For our Whovians, we have TARDIS Yahtzee. Yes, that's right. The whole TARDIS is your Yahtzee Shaker Cup. You can have it sitting there, and that one looks so nice. Mm-hmm. It can literally be it's got the top of the box or the police box right there for you, so you can have all your dice sitting there. You can have it on your bookshelf, kind of as a display piece, and then when you want to play some Yahtzee, you pull it out, you shake from there, and you're ready to rock and roll.
Mm-hmm. Makes you kind of wonder, since the TARDIS is always bigger on the inside, that once you put the dice in there, how long after shaking it would take for it to come out after you turn it over.
Well, the secret is there is actually 500 dice, so you might not be getting the exact dice you shook. So it's just, you know, whichever 5 come out first.
Right, there you go.
It gets a little tricky sometimes, especially with the cocked die and things like that. Do we just shake another one, or we toss that one back in, or do we shake them all again?
Right.
It gets a little weird. But beyond that, we have, for our D&D fans, there are always the deck of many things, but now there is the deck of many morsels. 50 cards, each with a different libation, snack, or sweet that you can make. So it's basically D&D recipe cards. Beautiful art on the front, recipes on the back. It looks like it's got some elemental things there as well. Flaming shots. Looks like it's got some kind of candied protein bar, a nice charcuterie board. So, you know, kind of things, if you want to spice up your game a little bit, you can kind of display from there, have it fun. For the D&D fan who has everything, an excellent stocking stuffer, you know, nicely wrapped underneath the tree.
It definitely makes for when you want to have D&D night, so that way you can have hey, we're going to have this a part of the story. This is the food.
Exactly. So when you enter the tavern, you know what it's like, whoa, you know, what have you got in the menu? Let me show you what's on the menu at the tavern tonight, and let me tell you, I love pizza as much as the next guy.
Right.
But every once in a while, it's nice to have a D&D night where it's like you want to order pizza? No, we've got better. You know, I love setting it up. It's like we're gonna start at like 3, and then if we're hungry at 5 and still going, I'm gonna have pulled pork. We can do burritos. We can do pulled pork sandwiches. It's a good time.
There you go. So that ends our non-sports cards and
non-fun stuff. So it looks like we're on to Funkos.
Woohoo, Funko Land!
Yay, Funko!
All right. Guess we'll start off with mine first, if Patrick doesn't mind.
By all means.
Well, we'll start off with, for mine, a memory from my younger days, a show that I absolutely loved, Gargoyles. This is Broadway from Gargoyles. These are ones that we have in stock and also been restocked. So for those of you that want ideas for Halloween, this would be an interesting idea. See if anybody can pull off Gargoyles, right?
Fair enough. I've heard rumor, and this is just rumor. I haven't seen anything to confirm it. But a couple people said that they've heard there's been talks of bringing Gargoyles back as a new series on Disney Plus, and I'm like, ooh, that would have me excited.
That would be actually really awesome. Yes. I understand like what they did with some of my other memories, like Darkwing Duck. They added him to the DuckTales and stuff like that. But it would have been kind of cool for that to go off into a spinoff, but maybe there just wasn't enough interest for that one.
Could be.
So here's another idea for those of you that want a quick idea for next Thursday is Halloween. Yep. So everybody that still loves this character, I know I do, but I can't dress as her. I can't pull that off. We have Rey. This is the one from The Last Jedi, I believe. Looks like it. Yep, it's definitely the one from The Last Jedi. So when she's training with Luke for the first time. Now, these ones are interesting ideas, especially the first one. This is just one that happens to be on my mind because it's a lot of clips that actually show up on my YouTube just because of different things I've watched. But we have from The Godfather, we have Vito Corleone. Any of those who love this movie, this would also be a great thing to have, especially when they reenact it in different TV shows with the whole having their cat on their seat. Ultimately, this is a great character anyway, and another one good idea to use for. And for those of you, I actually really liked this character, even though he wasn't really in the movie all that long, other than at the end and somewhat in the middle. We have Bruno. Nobody talked about Bruno, but I'm going to talk about Bruno. From Encanto, everybody, I absolutely love this movie. It does seem like this one would probably be a little bit, except for the little mouse on there to hold a little mouse. Everything else seems like it would be pretty decently easy to find a lot of those pieces to have for Halloween. So, what do you have there, Patrick?
I kind of went that way to a point of, but I went more along the lines of, hey, Halloween's getting super close, and you might not have time to get that Amazon order in to get that cool costume. You may have thought you weren't going to be doing anything. These are things that you can probably find at something that can, kind of pull it off within, at one of the shops. It may not be exactly what you're looking for, but you can doctor it up and make it work. So for those that remember this series, because I don't think they've redone this series since the 80s. There was a series in the 80s called V, which was about the aliens coming down, trying to help humanity.
Well,
and
didn't they do a V, The Return or whatever in the 2000s?
I thought that was...
Or was that late 90s?
That may have been early or late 80s that they did that, but I haven't seen anything since then that I know of.
Sure.
But I may have to do some digging. But simple orange jumper, a belt around it, get a little black Sharpie or get a little black electrical tape. You can make the little symbol for the visitors, which is what the V stood for. And if you haven't seen V, it's a series you can go back and get and go from there. Oh yeah, they did. Because they had the gal from Gotham on there.
Yes.
Now I see it. I remember it.
Yeah, because you're right. The original V series was 1980s, and then they came out with a new one that was called They Arrive, from 2009 to 2011. So with that being said, we've just saw the teaser trailer earlier this year for the next series of this one. So it's kind of that perfect time for fans of the series, right,
just get a green jumpsuit, get a little belt, some boots, get a player number. You are now in the Squid Games. People pick it up right away, think it's kind of funny, kind of cool.
Mhm.
Do it as a group costume with a bunch of people pretty easily. So if you're doing that, this one, again, I think it would be pretty easy. Get a blue jacket, dress, box of Eggos. You're 11. You know, easy, cute. Do a little bit of makeup, not that hard. You know, it's maybe, you know, and you can thrift shop probably most of what you're looking for right there.
Oh yeah,
probably 20-30 minutes. And with the Eggos involved, little brown dirt, people pick it up pretty quick. Little blood underneath the nose. You're all set. And on to one of my favorite series. So you get yourself a pair of overalls, maybe a do-rag, and a buddy. Stuart and rolled. Letterkenny, easy. You got a couple other buddies. You can be all of them all at once and have a good time. Go out. People may not pick it up, but you know, those people aren't what you're doing it for. You're doing it for yourself and having a good time. So another one you could toss in for the list of things to do. You know, and may take a little effort. Maybe next week on the 30th, I'll try and find the absolute no effort costumes that I can find throughout the store and toss those out.
there you go. Another good idea, just based on that one. You know, Shorzy. You know, that'd be an interesting one.
Yeah, well, you might have to like getting the jersey or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
You know that. But yeah, you could. Anyone can be Shorzy because you know, like especially at the first before they had the Shorzy spinoff of just being the back, and you didn't know what Shorzy looked like. He could look like anybody.
Right. You just knew what he sounded like because made fun of those young hockey players all the time.
Although, if I ran into the gyms at any costume party whatsoever, any costume contest, the gyms would automatically have my vote for best group costume.
Sure.
Jim, and Jim. They're gems.
All right. Well, that was a fun show to do. Like I said, just watch the beginning of the video for the question of the day, like what we did. I guess, yeah, like Patrick said, well, I'll probably focus on that too. Easier costumes to find. I did do a couple with the Bruno and the Ray, but I might find some others if we don't have any.
I'm talking more like next week. I'm looking for more about the stuff that you can go through your closet, piece it together, and maybe pull it off. Like,
right. Yeah, I know one of the ones that I did a few years ago, or not a few years ago, actually almost a decade ago. I don't think very many people would be able to pull it off today because I don't think I really see a lot of people here in South Dakota that own a trench coat. But I did my very own version, especially the round dark sunglasses. I did my own version of Robert Downey Jr.'s Sherlock Holmes from his movies. So I even purposely made it so I had scruff and everything. So instead of the beard that I have now.
One year I did, I can't think of his name, but Tom Hanks's character from Castaway.
Oh, sure.
I had a shirt that was beaten up to hell. I ripped off the sides of that. Had a pair of old khakis, cut the bottoms off of those, fluffed out my beard, and it was really thick and all of that. Got a volleyball, slapped some handprint paint on it, walked around, and if anybody walked away with my volleyball, I'd be like, Wilson! It was a good night.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll come up with some plenty of ideas next week, and that'll definitely make the show even more fun. But for tonight, we have to get back to work. We'll close here at 8. Open again tomorrow morning at 10. So you guys drive safe. Have a good night.
And drive to arrive.
Yeah, drive to arrive. If you plan on coming tonight, like I said, we